Yeah, it's crypto blood. Detroit flow, streaming from the D, knowing what to show. Indicators are wrong point. OG since 12, investing in trade, living life like a pro. I'm Rucker, Jerry, and just bloods do. Bad motherfucker in a good way, boo. Got my eyes on the charts, ain't no time to sleep. Get that money, gotta keep it creep. That's my crypto blood, just the toasters on the line. Stacking my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is king, but I'm looking for a new move. I know the culture of the markets like the streets. Got my finger on the pulse, can't nobody beat. I see the trends, I see the flow. Got my strategies in place, you know.
Yo, it's MYBZ on the mic, coming through the mist, talking crypto and privacy things you can't dismiss. YouTube's wild jungle, I'm the lion, can't resist. Guiding through the blockchain, teaching about the risk. Mind your biz, don't miss. Eeny, meeny, miny biz, we on the privacy blitz. Except for the mix, dropping knowledge with no tricks. YouTube to the wallet, keep it tight, no leaks. Click clack, I hack the facts, that's how I attack. From Bitcoin to Monero, stacking privacy back. YouTube's got eyes, but I'm the cloak in disguise. NYB on the rise, educating the wise. Mind your biz, don't miss. Eeny, meeny, miny biz, we on the privacy blitz. Except for the mix, dropping knowledge with no tricks. YouTube to the wallet, keep it tight, no leaks.
Rice TVX, the mic's live wire. American Pitbull, real gold buyer. Sound money advocate, rights defender. In the crypto arena, he's the top contender. From the gritty streets of the digital age, Rice lays wisdom, chapter and page. Silver, gold, he sports only the bold. Land, life, and liberty, these values hold.
Twitter, what's your phone?
Constitution, deep dive, knowledge revival. Navigate the system, critical for survival. Rice engraved like inscriptions on metal. Pitbull in the game, left foot on the pedal.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are live. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. Give me a 5x5 and let me know that everything is all good. But today we are going to be brightening up your hump day. I am joined by the 3WW crew. Actually, maybe it's the 3WM crew. The three wise men just happen to be on this Wednesday, this hump day edition. So without further ado, let me get rid of this thumbnail. And I want to let everybody know I'm having slight technical difficulties as a 50-year-old trying to use a MacBook computer doing a live stream, which, by the way, my stream signal is down to 1 right now, down to 2. So I'm having the same problem that I was having with my MacBook that I'm having, or that I was having with my Windows computer, that I thought was driver-based with internet problems.
I'm calling it NSA-based. How about that, ladies and gentlemen?
It's got to be my internet. It honestly, at this point, has to be because
NSA.
Yeah. Now, listen to this. I told you guys I was doing some test streams, and what I was doing with the test stream is just having like a camera, like the camera pulled up, but just not sitting there, like, you know, full time watching it, and having a live stream or a video playing. So I'm using multiple resources. So I'm not just doing a blank stream. And all the test streams showed up positive. No internet issues. I didn't see the internet going up or down. And I tried it at various times over the past 4 days because I wanted to make sure, like, if there was more people at home watching TV or using the internet, that kind of thing, and see if it was going to affect.
Right. And
I had no signal issues. One signal right now. I don't know how it looks when everybody else is in, but it's showing me I have now 2 bars of signal. So I'm gonna quit complaining about that because I've done it enough. Welcome back. Blood, how has your week been since I've seen you and talked to you last Wednesday?
We actually talked yesterday, my friend.
Oh yeah, we did. I smoke a lot of reefer.
We talked via the phone. So
and hung up on each other.
Yeah, we hung up on each other out of frustration. And shout out to Mr. X. We had a whole conversation about you, Mr. X. So just letting you know, you live rent free in crypto blood in Rice's brain. So round of applause for that.
Well, not only that, I mean, some of it started with some of the things that Mr. X was sharing with me, and then it branched out to I'll say the person's name, a content creator that goes by the name of Raven Moonstone. If anybody wants to look her stuff up on Facebook, and I had blood. I think he pissed himself. He was laughing so hard. So
And I was cracking up, man. Mr. X, you never cease to amaze me. So shout out to you.
How are you, my friend? How's everything been the past week?
You know, I'll just say better in a lot of ways. Better, you know, when they finally do a movie about our whole experience here, the stuff we're about to go into, I'm pretty sure it'll be shot in black and white, and it'll have the subtitle "How I Stopped Worrying and Learned to Love the Censorship," because you know they didn't kill us. That didn't happen. So here we are.
Whoa.
But this last week has been a very positive week for me. Spent time with the kids, got to fly the drone. Got to, you know, spy on my enemies and plot my revenge. So, yes.
Sweet. Sounds like a day in the life of Pinky and the Brain. So, all right. We're going to go ahead and let me get this up on screen real quick and just share the fact that we have social media. Each other's social media links in each other's video description. All three of us each have 2 channels each. So there's links down below for all those channels so that you can subscribe to Rice TVX and Rice Against the Grain, to Red Nugent, Crypto Blood, and Red Nugent 2, and MineYourBiz, which actually has an OG and a classic, technically. And then we also have the Mind of Godcast. So links are down below. I'm trying to navigate through the screen here. As you see, this is my X account at Rice TVX. Notice there are no underscores. And if you guys want to follow Crypto Blood, he is at Crypto Blood. Notice the underscore. And also we have Mr. Seth from MineYourBiz at Seth Your _ Biz.
There you go.
Mine your underscore biz.
Mine your _ biz. Sorry. All the underscoring, it just kind of got to me, man.
You can't put a period on some of these user handles. It's kind of weird. You can do that in an email address. You can do that in in a web address. You can't do that in a user handle for whatever reason, except for TikTok. They figured it out, but you know they're
I don't think
they figured out a lot of stuff.
You can put an underscore in emails. I think I was trying that with trying to create some accounts. And
no, I don't think you can use a special underscore character in emails.
I think you can do a dot.
Yes,
and a dash.
Sure can do
dots. Also,
I have
dots and dashes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got 191 people watching between all of our streaming locations. It looks like we're all 3 streaming on YouTube, all 3 streaming on X, and I'm also streaming on my Rumble channel. So if you guys haven't smashed that like button, please take an opportunity to do so. It's supposed to help us with the algorithm. It's supposed to. Oh, something else that I wanted to share real quick. And it's not much that we have to really rehash on, but I wanted to share that there is an episode that me and Blood did back in July.
I was just looking, bro. I was literally just looking for it and came up. Listen,
was this 2 years ago?
Yeah, show my screen really quickly, bro. That's why I was so quiet. I was literally looking for it, and I got this little
screen. I got a little screen, so me. Add to stage. Why is it not pulling? There it is. Is that yours or mine?
Mine.
Okay, so let me remove mine.
No, I just wanted to show that I literally just came up upon the video you have on the screen right now. I was looking back in our videos from 2 years ago, and there it is right there, ladies and gentlemen.
So I've got a link in the video description if people want to check it out, because we go into like some really deep dives about what the actual shadow banning is.
Remember, we did 2 episodes, so this is the first one.
I thought we did. Okay, maybe we did 2. I thought we did 1.
So we did 2, and I think the second one you weren't able to.
The second one was you and SGT. Yes, the second one was you and
SGT.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that exactly. But that first episode, we went over, like, when we talk about shadow banning and censorship. Shadow banning is a form of censorship, and we really kind of get into how they, like, especially on YouTube, how they actually do shadow ban people, which deals with this idea of borderline content, where it's basically you're kind of lumped into this like category of like the inbred, deformed child that lives in the basement. That was, you know, that's what the content creators in this niche was kind of, as borderline content was put. And basically it was only allowing for about 1% of the entire YouTube user base to actually be suggested any of these videos. And it doesn't mean individually 1%. It means every person deemed in that category gets to split that 1% up. Right. So it's been something that me and Blood have obviously talked about. Me, Seth, Blood have talked about this behind the scenes. We've all dealt with shadow banning. I think we're still kind of dealing with shadow banning, and there's been a lot of things that we've done individually, starting other channels, experimenting with other ways of obtaining channels and figuring out how that would work. A plethora of things. And
okay, so before we get into it, I know both of you gotta remember this guy, and his name came up in Nick Fuentes' interview he did with PBD yesterday. I watched the whole thing last night. I
watched part of it.
Okay, you did. Okay, so I watched the whole thing, and he brought up a guy. Remember Stefan Molyneux?
Yeah, he was talking about Nick Fuentes was sort of in the first hour, I think, because I've only watched maybe an hour and a half, maybe hour and 15 minutes of the interview, maybe not even that much. But he was talking about being in forums as when he was like maybe 17, 18 years old and still trying to form his public opinion. He kind of looked at himself. We're talking about Nick Fuentes, looked at himself as a libertarian, but really a lot of libertarians just kind of get very fed up and move on generally. I'm not saying all. And it was people like, he mentioned Stephen Molyneux, he mentioned Jordan Peterson, he even mentioned Ben Shapiro.
Yeah. I never followed Jordan or Ben, of course not Ben. But Stefan Molyneux, I used to follow great, like big time, right? So then I went down the rabbit hole. I'm like, damn, I have not seen any of his videos in years.
Yeah, I think he was taken off of YouTube years ago.
He must have been taken off.
So I'm hoping
17,000 subscribers. Videos are getting like 300-400 views on YouTube. Sad. It's crazy.
It is. I don't know if that's going to change or not. Where do you guys want to start with? Because we're talking about censorship, and I know the two main things that we were going to talk about was the Jimmy Kimmel situation, the suspension and return, and then how that came about, and then also the news that came out yesterday about Google admitting that Alphabet Incorporated, or excuse me, Google admitted that the Biden administration pressured them to censor, remove channels, shadow ban, everything that we've been complaining about. And I can't 100% put it on Biden because I'm sure that I'm sure because it's obviously on both ends.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't say that.
I feel, I'm not saying, I'm just saying in general, there are calls for censorship on both ends.
Oh, now there are.
Now,
I mean, I didn't think we'd be seeing calls for censorship on the right the way that we have recently, but here we are. I'm not going to say that I love Jimmy Kimmel either. I don't give two craps that the guy was taken off the air. What I do care about was that there was the insinuation that it was done for political motives. That doesn't sit well with me. Fine, fire the guy because he's not bringing in ratings. Fire the guy because he's not funny. Fire the guy because his act is stale and it's about 3 years overdue to have him be right-sized into a different, entertainment vehicle. But don't fire him because the FCC contacts you. That's kind of weak.
Well, okay, so Blood, what was I saying to you yesterday about my Facebook post that I had in regards to the same thing I posted on X, which was make free speech great again. I can actually pull up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, we were just having a conversation about how you were having so many arguments with the still MAGA that's like 100% Trump can't do anything wrong crew. I told you I'm insane MAGA now, so
I'm MAGA.
Yeah, you were talking about arguing with people, saying that they're justifying Kimmel's cancellation, or I shouldn't say cancellation, but suspension. And they're saying that it's like they live in a whole parallel universe. They're saying that a lot of these people are saying that he was canceled for
Just sorry for the interruption here, man. Billy's pointing out something that I was just noticing too. Your mic is low again. It's just the volumes. It's maybe if you could do a 10 dB.
I feel like I hear him great.
boost.
Let me see if I can do something.
crazy.
No, I hear him, but the
What
audio
about
is
now? What about
objectively
now?
low.
What about now? Any
Better.
Okay, better.
But I think it's just the Rice has his levels set like really snappy with a really nice mic, and so the bar is higher.
Should I back the
now?
Back up? Is this better? I don't know.
Testing
Man.
No,
one, two.
Everybody, let us know what's better and what's not better.
So it's crazy.
I'm just saying, Billy, he knows quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that. So it's just crazy. Rice is having these arguments with the ultra right, and they're saying that he was fired or suspended for ratings, and that was not the case at all.
Yeah, but it's even being brought up again today because of his return yesterday. It's almost as if this argument's coming back, and it's all. So what I'm starting to think, and I'm just hear me out on this, like, is the algorithm feeding us different information?
It's possible.
Where some people aren't getting anything in regards to anything, because there's some people made it like they never even heard anything about the FCC stuff. And what I did was pull up this I asked Grok to explain what happened with Jimmy Kimmel, including FCC advertisers and affiliates. And it's basically going into the idea that the incident escalated rapidly, involving threats from the FCC, boycotts by ABC affiliate station groups, and pressure from the advertisers and conservative activists. It raised broader questions about free speech. Now, again, right there, you see nothing about ratings. Whether or not his ratings were in decline, that wasn't the reason why. And it was mainly affiliates and advertisers, because apparently they're still, from what I understand, let me scroll down a little bit more. They are still, where is it right here? They're not all going to return him to the networks.
Right. Sinclair
and Nexstar.
Mm-hmm.
And Sinclair owns the streaming rights. So apparently when it was supposed to be streaming on the internet, people couldn't watch it live. It was preempted with news. So advertisers grew skittish, and the escalating threats with Disney executive fielding complaints and concerns over potential boycotts, the controversy turned into a safety issue. Disney employees and Kimmel's staff received death threats, is what they were saying. Doxing, harassment. I heard about that. But it's just insane to think that people don't think that this started with Donald Trump and the FCC, regardless of whether you support Donald Trump or not. Facts are facts. That's how I understood it. It was then after the FCC, then you started hearing from the affiliates, from the advertisers, who are still kind of standing their ground with the situation. So I'd like to know, what, like, people who are watching, like, what are your thoughts? Was this because of Jimmy Kimmel's ratings? And then the other thing is, if it wasn't specifically because of the FCC, or he wouldn't be back on the air, because the FCC hasn't changed their position. So this is just like something that's kind of almost got completely blown out of proportion again, just to kind of get people arguing. And all I was trying to do was defend freedom of speech. I had somebody ask me, where were you when they were trying to censor Donald Trump off social media? Me and you have talked about that when it was happening. We weren't in agreement with it. I was there supporting freedom of speech. I was there with when they took and deplatformed Alex Jones. Now, when Roseanne Barr and stuff happened, I wasn't in the space like that to care. Had I been, I would have stood up for anyone that was being canceled because of things that they were saying, unless it was threats and harm, because that's completely different.
So I jumped on the live stream. Hotep, shout out to Hotep Jesus if he's watching. I don't know if he is or not. I was on his stream yesterday, and he talked about the YouTube situation and reversal or admission, and he's like, who did they take offline first? Was it Trump and Alex, or was it Alex and Minister Farrakhan? It was Minister Farrakhan. People don't recall this. Minister Farrakhan and Alex Jones were both eliminated, I believe, on the same day. The same day. They were taken off of X.
Minister Farrakhan and who else?
Alex Jones.
It was the two of them were taken off the same day. Because I don't recall even hearing anything about Louis Farrakhan. And I don't agree with Farrakhan, but I would support Farrakhan's right to freedom of speech unless he was, you know, trying to cause harm, like threatening people and inciting something. That would be the only difference of where I wouldn't support. As long as your speech is not harmful to others, and making somebody cry because they get butthurt because they don't like what you say is not harmful. Seth, what are your thoughts on all this crap?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Getting butthurt is not the same thing as having a legitimate concern, right? Like freedom of speech, there are limitations, and people always use the, you know, yelling fire in a theater. That's not true. That's not actually like the specific thing, but specifically language that is designed to incite immediate violence, immediate danger. Like you're at the pulpit, you got a microphone, and you yell to your audience who's feeling the emotion, right? They're in the spirit of the moment, and you tell them, "Oh yeah, go stomp on that guy. Go kick that guy's lights out." Right? Like go like do whatever, right? Like do violence right now. That's the speech that is limited. And even to the point of saying like, "No, I want you to all go organize, and I want you to cross the street so they feel uncomfortable." That's not the same thing as the type of speech that has been limited by legal precedent. And we have to look to case law for this stuff, right? Like whenever you say like, "Oh, well, what's the real interpretation of, you know, the First Amendment of these new lenses that we put over the First Amendment?" That's kind of the hard line of the restrictions that we have, is that when you use speech specifically to incite real, explicit, immediate violence and danger, that's it. Not making people uncomfortable, not hurting their feelings, not even calling them names, like intense names. None of that is equal to violence. And that's where like the entire movement of leftism has been so damaging, Rice. Like when we've been hearing for the last however many years, your words are literal violence. And we see how that's played out recently with that same camp saying like, well, your words were literal violence. So now because we don't like your words, we have permission to go do real violence. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked that this has been the way that people's minds have been twisted in this censorship era, because I think it's emboldened them to think like, okay, well, we got these people's voices canceled, and now that their voices are back, maybe that gives us permission to escalate further. But it does come from a fundamental ignorance and misunderstanding of what the intent of free speech is and what the real limitations of free speech are.
Right. Well, I will definitely say that I put this Grok conversation link into the chat, so if people want to check it out, it's not biased. It's trying to feed the information based off the question that I asked or the information that I inputted, and it's kind of giving perspectives on both sides. But from a timeline perspective, the FCC was the one that came out first. And it seems to be, you know, as far as me fact checking, that seems to be very correct. Also, the good thing I like about Grok, if you hit the link that I shared, is you can look at all the different sources that Grok is pulling for the information that it's providing. So I definitely encourage people to check that out. It's interesting that he returns and there was no apology, which I didn't necessarily expect because he didn't think he said anything wrong. I kind of feel indifferent about what was said, but I definitely don't feel like it was cancelable. And the whole time
it was a ooh, maybe too soon type of situation, right?
Right. Yeah, but it wasn't cancelable, man. And that's where and I had to keep telling people as I'm defending the First Amendment and freedom of speech that I have to stress that I don't like Jimmy Kimmel. I don't like his stuff. I told you, like, I don't like any of these like late night guys. I used to like Letterman and stuff. I used to like that. I feel like the whole thing has gone downhill. It's become ultra political. It's always had politics, but ultra political is, you know, been kind of a problem. And I told you I would just watch certain guests depending on who was on there. I told you that my most recent one was Spinal Tap, because Spinal Tap is back for Spinal Tap 2. Shout out to Spinal Tap. And I watched Spinal Tap, which is like a mockumentary rock band.
So you mean Christopher Guest? You were watching Christopher Guest and his favorite castmates.
Yes.
You were Spinal Tap. You were watching a comedy writer who has done everything from Waiting for Guffman to also Spinal Tap.
And it was directed by Rob Reiner too, which is he's did like When Harry Met Sally. I can't name all the names off the top of my head. I think he has something to do with Stand By Me. He did a lot of movies. And they're all playing different people. It's almost like Tropic Thunder, but without a dude playing another dude.
Tropic. Not that again.
Our favorite
movie. Blood. Rice is going to show up one day in full on blackface and be like, "What?"
Our favorite movie, man.
No, I'm not doing blackface. No, fuck that.
No,
there's a filter for that, man. He's gonna use the Snapchat filter and be like, "What's wrong with you people?"
Why not?
My computer broke. It's the DHS. They made me blackface. You guys should go watch a movie, a 1970s time period movie called Watermelon Man. And it's about this racist white guy who falls asleep in a tanning bed and wakes up black. It's classic.
It's a great song, by the way. It's a great jazz standard too, Watermelon Man.
It's a racist. I mean, back in the 70s, they used to do that kind of stuff. It had a good message to it because the racist black, the guy who was white and racist had to live the rest of his life as a black man. So, the Kimmel shit, like I think it kind of got blown out of proportion, but it was
blown out of proportion.
I also wonder if it was purposely a something else to kind of add to distraction, just more bread and circus shit. Like, hey, let's see what they focus on with all the other shit we thrown their way. Let's see what they're focusing on, because like there's not a lot of these things happen so fast that we're moving on. Like, I think we forgot about what happened in Charlotte on that motor rail. We don't talk about it. Hey, just out of curiosity, did anybody forget about the Epstein list?
Right. I sure did.
I mean, it's just like,
good job.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely good at their game. Do you have anything else that you want to add about Jimmy Kimmel? I don't.
No, that's pretty much it, man. I think it was a sad move by them anyway to do this. Glad he's back on. As you stated, I'm not a fan of Kimmel. Never watched one episode, to be honest with you, not even one. And so, hey, glad he's back on. We can keep this thing moving. People just have to, on the right. I think we get inundated with our feelings, and our feelings make us do irrational things, and that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing irrational behavior from the right. They're throwing away all of their core pillars on free speech and allowing other people to say what they want. They're throwing all that away because of their feelings, because of their irrationalism right now.
But I got it in my video description, but if you would drop a link to your channel's Red Nugent too, because that's where you're streaming on YouTube at. You're not streaming on your main channel.
That's right. I'm over on Red Nugent 2, guys. Go follow me.
He doesn't want us to. He doesn't want us to hurt his already hurt channel.
Well, I'm just I'm focusing that channel on crypto,
the trading stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the news that came out yesterday. Let me go back to my screen sharing because this came from Representative Jim Jordan. So I don't know enough about the guy to say I appreciate what you did, but I think I appreciate what he did as far as this congressional hearing, getting Google to admit to being to censoring people and shadow banning people because of the Biden administration. When I heard the news, it was like, it was just kind of like validation for shit that I already knew. Because a lot of people would be like, you're not shadow banned, or, they would just try to go down this hole of, okay, then we just suck as content creators. That's what it is. People just don't like us.
Right.
And if that's the case, that's the case.
No, we know that's not the case.
the thing is, you always do need to like take that kind of that little grain of salt and be like, could I improve? Yeah, is there something that I'm missing there? But yeah, when all those boxes are checked, and we know people in the crypto industry, I'm gonna shout out Crypto Rich. He's done phenomenal content. You know him from some of the Zano and some of the stuff that like Aaron Day is focused on now.
Well, he he does conversation
5 years ago.
Tom Luongo. That's like that. Those are good interviews. And he's a good guest. And he's a really smart guy, whether you agree with everything he says or not. But yeah, his channel definitely has issues as well.
Right.
But
I'm just saying
he was covering a lot of freedom
on crypto first. Yeah, that's the overlap. When it's too much freedom, when it's too much privacy, then I think that's kind of been the high sign for some of the censorship. And I brought up Crypto Rich specifically because that guy was suppressed. I mean, he was getting at one point he was getting 1,000+ views on regular content, and it dropped to like a couple hundred maybe, and then but it had a lot to do with whether or not he was talking about privacy-oriented cryptocurrency projects. Plus, he's a little bit subversive, right? So I think I drew it out of him in our private invite-only crypto influencers Telegram channel, the one that Crypto Crow runs, the one that we collectively kicked Richard Hart out of years ago. But I just got Crypto Rich to admit in that channel, he's got phenomenal content on how to legally stop paying taxes in Great Britain. They've got a method there because they have some legislation according to a UN resolution that directly applies, where it's not even controversial. It's proven in their courts. There's case law.
Okay, so they have precedent. They can like 100% back up all these things. Okay, yeah, I mean there are people in the United States that teach that, like Payman, I forget his last name, with Freedom Law School. Sure. Also Joe Bannister.
Right. Yeah, you interviewed Joe Bannister, which was he's an ex-IRS agent.
Right, but when you're saying
agent,
so that's why I automatically know that's why Crypto Rich was having problems with his channel. So you guys can check out his channel. I don't have a link right now. If Seth, if you want to find one, we could drop it in. But Crypto Rich,
it'd be great to show him some love. Because if there's anybody in the UK who's wondering like, is there precedent for it? Dude, there's never been a better time to tell the British government like, we're not going to fund your bad ideas. Just not for nothing.
Again, I want to remind people, if they haven't already, got to always do his little house cleaning. Make sure you guys take an opportunity to smash that like button. If you're watching on X, if you could share this, repost it, it would be greatly appreciated, and share it with other people. Make sure you're subscribed to all of our channels. We each have 2 channels, and we have social media links in each other's video description. So, yeah, make sure you smash that like button. Blood, how did you feel? Sorry.
Well, I put a link to Crypto Rich's tweet where he explains the whole thing. So if you're just curious about the process for the UK, he's got a very good overview there, and it links to the resources directly from the person who has defended this method in the UK. I think the better part of a half dozen times, like 2 or 3 times for himself, and then also on behalf of other taxpayers in the UK. So it's all right there.
Nice. I had to get him on and talk about that because I had mentioned to Tom Luongo, I would like to get him back on. He dives into the politics, the geopolitics, the economics, the freedom from a real perspective. It's like a UK version of what we talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom Luongo, but it's I mean, speak of the devil. So Tom Luongo and Crypto Rich were both on a Twitter space just earlier today. Like not 3 hours ago.
Wow.
They were both chatting. So like I think the good ideas are trying to break free, and I think the people who are willing to dive back in. And you've heard me talking about like, yes, I'm very much on a spiritual path right now, but I mean, we need all the help we can get to talk about freedom stuff.
I'm going to his. Oh, I remember. I've had him on my show.
Yeah, he's got He's got that big smile.
Yeah, he's got that Hollywood look.
Yeah. Bollywood
he
look.
Was
almost.
ultra. Man, I remember when he was just complaining to us in the Telegram room years back about what they did to him and what they were doing to him. I was just like, man.
I think he's just like just giving up on it. Like I mean, in all honesty, if this hadn't happened, like the Google thing with the Biden administration, I don't think that we would be having another conversation about censorship. It seems like a wasted conversation. Because I have to stress that for a channel, for like YouTubers, anybody creating content to be successful, it depends on them having an audience.
Correct. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy too, right? So if newcomers see a fresh new video from Rice TVX, okay, an interview, and you've interviewed the biggest people in, I mean, your interview list is comparable to, I can put them up against any channel. ITM, I can put it up against, I mean, all the major channels, right? You've interviewed those individuals. If they see your interview and it's got 800 views, many people won't click it. If they don't see 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 views, they won't click it. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy where we need the views, but we need the views to get more views because people look at views to validate where the content is.
Right.
Official.
It does. Yeah. And it's crazy to even think that people who are really wanting good information are going to still subconsciously, because I'm sure a lot of times it's not conscious, or just, oh, this video must not be worth anything because there's no views on it. And yeah, it's very disheartening when you do all this work and you're just being throttled, kept limited, where your work isn't really paying off. And that's where I have personally been for a couple of years. And that's why basically I took a 6-month break from putting out anything content wise, man. It just nothing's changed.
Right.
Like I'm still losing the same amount of subscribers.
Right.
Like the only views I'm getting is organic. So if we were to try to do something like other channels where you're buying, because you can buy YouTube views, you can buy YouTube likes,
Right.
you can buy subscribers. But from what I understand, YouTube frowns upon that. So you're almost kind of hurting yourself by utilizing bot activity, because that's what you would be doing, is utilizing bot activity.
Well, the issue with that is you don't have control over that. The public link that's used on some of these services can be used by sponsors. It can be used by detractors. It can be used by haters. It can be used by anybody, right? Like there are no limitations. So if you really, it's like the equivalent of swatting an opponent. If it costs you $5 to bury your opponent, that's worth the price of admission. If you genuinely have a reason to see somebody go down, you could invest less than $50 total to serially bot every single one of their live pieces of media for a week.
Well, when you say that, that made me question why we were being censored in the past. And that was one of the things that came up in my mind, is somebody just doesn't like content, like crypto content creators, or just doesn't like what I'm saying. And they're maliciously doing what they can to my channel, which affects, because I have gotten, like in the past, notifications of bot activity and things like that, as if like I'm doing it in the studio.
Anything. Yeah, I've never gotten anything.
And it's been a couple years, and so I can't remember the exact verbiage. But when they talk about bringing back these YouTube channels and reinstating channels, I told you, Blood, that World Alternative Media, Wham, who I used to be a contributor for, and that's where I did my first interview, my first 2 interviews with McAfee. Because I had a small channel, and he had over 100,000 subscribers. So it was it's easier to get interviews with bigger people when you have over 100,000 subscribers. Now that like I haven't done big interviews, I try to reach out to people, and I know that some people aren't accepting my interview request because it's not a big channel.
Right.
So it's like people want to see these kind of things, but
and that's another thing. You bring up a great point. That's the other side of the equation that for those of us who do interviews, in order to solicit a lot of these individuals to come on, and time is the most valuable commodity we have. If these individuals are going to spend their time, it has to be spent in the best way or the best manner. And so those individuals we look to solicit, they look at our content, they look at the views we have, and that's another roadblock if we're being suppressed and we're not getting
right.
views.
That's why I think some of these people like Whitney Webb haven't given me the time of day, because they have channels that are much bigger that are wanting to interview her. And then she's even now had Joe Rogan finally come out and say he's not trying not to interview her. Like, he definitely wants to bring her on the show. So that kind of already brings her shit up another notch. So shout out to people like Hotep who do go on Rogan's show and still make time to go on our shows or bring us on something he's doing.
Yes, for sure.
Because if it wasn't for people like that,
but the thing is, like, I was on his stream yesterday after the news broke, and he did a live stream about it. He's even suppressed, Rice. Like, there's different levels.
Right. I'd like to be suppressed at 100,000.
I understand, but Hotep should be.
He should be a lot bigger than 100,000.
Nick Fuentes. He should be at a Nick Fuentes. He's very controversial. Not comparing him directly to Nick Fuentes. I'm just saying he should be on that level.
He's told me when I talked to him when I was on his show the last time, I was asking him about whether or not he was gaining an increase in followers with the Gutfeld appearances and the Rogan stuff. And he basically has said, you know, the first Rogan thing I think helped him, but after that, I don't think there has been any benefit that he sees.
Diabolical,
right? Which makes me think that there's actual suppression of what is reality.
Yes.
Like, he actually has more subscribers than they're allowing to be seen. He actually has more views than allowing to be seen. Yes. I thought about that myself.
Because we've gone to crypto conferences, Rice, and people are always coming up to us. Everyone, there's Rice.
The craziest people you would never think.
And it's like, oh, okay. But then you have a guy, like you said, you ran into a guy that had 80,000 views. He knew you, but you didn't know him. And we're in this niche, very, very niche group of content creators.
So his channel, I mean, his social media following has gotten bigger since then, even though it was already kind of big then, as far as like trading and stuff like that. And I reached out to him maybe 9 months ago to try to get him to come on the show, and he basically told me no. Which is kind of ironic considering how the guy was when we met. Because I don't know if you were there when I actually met him for the first time.
I can't remember.
It was at a hotel. I think it was at a hotel lobby. I think. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, I don't want to mention his name since he said nothing. But yeah, I mean, he's a cool guy. I mean, but basically, what he was insinuating is he just doesn't do that. Like, it's not something he does. Like, it's not. If you look throughout his content career, it's not that he doesn't like. And there are some people who just don't do interviews. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, in the same way that in the crypto industry, there's plenty of people that won't do promotional content, even for projects that they like or that they're supportive of. They'll pretend like they're all impartial, and they'll play it very, very low key, and they'll only talk about general markets, even when there's stuff that is newsworthy. I mean, case in point, crypto has largely been an institutional game for a little while now. So imagine having, for example, like an ETF passed, but you feel like you shouldn't talk about the company that passed the ETF. There's like levels of purity and these little litmus tests that people will apply to stuff. And my last comment, I don't think I need to speak it out loud, but Blood, Rice, you mentioned running into people at conferences. I've run into IRS special agents who openly admitted to me. They're like, oh yeah, we work for the IRS, and just chatted it up at a crypto after party. And I'm like, I think that was like my wake up call.
I've never had an IRS agent come up to me willingly saying I'm an IRS or anything IRS.
I feel
I've
like
had two.
I feel like I was with you one time, one of those times. Where were those occurrences?
That was Miami. Yeah, that was both okay. Miami.
Yep. I think I wasn't with you when you met him, but we linked up later, and you told me that you saw an agent.
It was kind of insane, and from that time forward, I mean, some of the projects that I've worked with in the past, and I'm not going to name names again. Like it's not beneficial and it's not healthy to name names, but like there's some of the projects I've worked with. They've done consulting for FBI, and then we know now, and I called this in 2021 on Clubhouse, that at this point, to think that Bitcoin and crypto are not somehow a matter of national security is naive. We got policy being written about this. So if you don't think that there are people who would kill over this, you are wrong. It just depends on whether or not you're in a position that you're any kind of a threat. And let's be real, on YouTube, we're not a threat, but there are people somewhere who are, because it is now a matter of national security, national financial security.
I'd like to think that maybe I am a threat and they just throttle the fact so I won't be.
There you go.
You're a potential
really
threat. You're a potential threat, right?
Well, we're all potential threats in that category.
Threats.
We are
Right.
guilty by association.
Guilty by association. Oh man, love it. If you pull up my screen really quickly, Rice, I'm sharing my screen. I just want to.
Yep.
I got two things I want to share.
I got it.
This is the first one. This is Stefan Molyneux, guys. This guy at one point on YouTube had the biggest philosophy YouTube channel. I used to watch this guy. I think this is pre-COVID. This is like 17,
18.
16, 18, 19. I watched him pretty religiously. I don't know. Clearly he got booted off or something, but his new channel, 17,000 subscribers. He's live right now. My God, I miss Stefan. Wow.
So he was removed. Is that his OG channel? Was it returned?
I don't know. It
What
doesn't
are we
look
looking-
like it because I believe he had hundreds of thousands of subscribers, or maybe
What is this one at? I can't see it.
17,000.
Okay, well, he was removed from YouTube June 29th, 2020 as part of a crackdown on channels that repeatedly violated the platform's hate speech policy.
Hate speech.
YouTube banned Molyneux and other prominent white supremacist figures, including Richard Spencer and Daisy Dukes, for promoting supremacy and inciting hatred. But why are they?
Black man?
They're saying
watched
Stephen
this guy.
Molyneux and other prominent white supremacist figures.
Bro, nonsense.
I never heard anything about him being
Nonsense.
white
Never,
supremacist.
bro.
I just thought he said stuff that he made people think. He made people question things, and I think it's really
thinking question.
obviously they don't like when I say they governments don't like us to think.
Yeah.
Or they would
Yeah,
actually teach that and encourage it in public education if that was actually the case.
And then this is the last one.
And like you said,
Stefan. Go ahead.
That is the worst, right? When you think a little bit too much. That's why in every major revolution in so many other countries around the world, the first people that they get rid of are those that are a little bit too intellectual. Those who can think a little too critically.
Seth, without a beard, might look like Stephen Molyneux. Are they the same? Are they the same? Are they the same individual?
We've never been seen. We've never been pictured in the same room
Central
together.
Casting? Am I watching Central Casting in real time?
We were both at 9/11.
Hey there,
and then also at San Diego.
So, YouTube admits to censoring, and what would accountability actually look like? Well, it's not just allowing people back on the platform. Accountability, I think, for YouTube would look something like this. You take the creators' last 5 years of revenues, you extrapolate them forward on whatever trend line they were, and you pay them the difference as if they'd still been on the platform. That would be at least a minor level of accountability. Wait, hang on. No, I'm not going to hold my breath, but that would be it.
It'd be great if he actually held his breath until it happened. Because look, I don't think they're going to reinstate channels. I personally don't think they're going to be reinstating any channels.
No, they have been. They have been.
Well,
my concern,
Wham.
my question.
What I meant to say about Wham was that was a couple months ago. It was Press for Truth. I think James Corbett. I can't remember the name. He was taken down, and so was World Alternative Media.
Oh, I remember him. I remember Corbell.
They a couple months ago just came back, so it was before all this. So it's almost as if they've been starting to let people taper back.
They have.
I showed you about what Luke Rudkowski said about having a YouTube rep and being happy with how YouTube is treating him now. Which, again, I was bringing that up because people have told me YouTube doesn't have reps.
No,
that's not true. We know people in the crypto influencers group who've talked about having
once you get over 100,000, right?
No, it's not just over 100,000.
Yeah, because I don't think Crypto Crow has a YouTube rep.
Yeah, but let me take the wraps off of. I mean, this is not a dirty little secret of mine. This is a very open secret of mine. When I first launched my second channel, because I acquired a channel. I strategically acquired a channel. I didn't launch it from scratch. And I was very open about that with my own audience.
Yep.
For several streams, they said, hey, I'm trying this out. But I mean, I bought a channel, BOWGHT, not BOT. But I bought a channel so that I could experiment with what that looks like. And then I botted that channel to experiment with what that would look like. Because I wanted to know. I wanted to know, how was that game played? There was a full verification of the new channel, almost no questions asked. I applied like normal. Yeah, all the stuff where they talk about, like, yeah, it's for consumer protection, it's for this other stuff. They don't care. They don't care. It has to do with policies that they're not going to be transparent about. And when it comes to having a rep, they're looking for other metrics that make sense to them. And they're not just looking for like core metrics where you're thinking like, okay, it's this many number of watch hours, it's exactly this number of subscribers. Oh, it's when you get verified, right? It's when you get your silver play button, right? It's when you get this. No, they move the goalposts. They're going to go give reps to who they like, and they're not going to tell you what the criteria is. But if they think that you're sustainable or you're a good bet or whatever, they give you access to a rep, but only if they like you and only if you're making enough waves in the way that they like. And I think that that's why it's so rare that people in crypto have reps, even when they have big metrics. Some of them do, but not all of them.
I would be curious how many of those crypto channels that have reps work with like a marketing firm, someone that is maybe the liaison that connected them with the rep.
Yeah, probably, because there are services that do that. I won't name names, but I will say that if you ever see a channel with over 1 million subscribers and they're doing kind of consistently well, they have some kind of representation, and those representatives do all kinds of very interesting growth hacks. Not bots per se, but they do a bunch of very interesting growth hacks to make sure that minimum analytics are met. And this is me putting my day job hat on, the Blocks Media Group day job hat on, where we've represented large projects and we've had to roll out paid campaigns for large projects in the crypto ecosystem. So like we've had to like continue to learn how some of those projects are rolled out and executed. And so like, yeah, any big act that you see on YouTube, not only do they have some type of representation, that representation is ensuring that minimum analytics are hit every single video.
I can say for a fact that anybody that I may know that has a rep doesn't do anything to offer to help anyone else who doesn't have a rep.
What are they going to do for you, man?
Why would you expect that? See, at the end of the day, and this is what I told Hotep yesterday. You're fighting two battles as you enter the free market to conduct business, right? We're as content creators, we're fighting two battles. We're fighting, of course, the machine, but we're also fighting against, competing against other content creators. It is a dog eat dog world, somewhat. I won't call it zero sum game, but there are only X amount of eyeballs, and the algorithm can only do so much to funnel X amount of eyeballs to certain content streams. So it doesn't shock me that other people don't help.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it.
Because the more popular you get, it somewhat takes away, and especially if they're in the same sphere as you, that's competition, right?
Well, I appreciate like all the people that are all about collaborating, even as much problems as I started having with Ben Armstrong. I can't thank Ben, all the guys that were at Hit Network at the time that brought us all three on regularly on Around the Blockchain. Yeah, because it got to the point where people recognized me more for my appearances on a different channel than my own channel.
Yeah, I had a childhood friend reach out after that. He was like, "Oh yeah, I saw you on this YouTube channel. What are you doing there?" And I'm like, "Dude, I make content too." We were like buddies.
I'm just some guy who goes on YouTube channels randomly.
Oh man, it's crazy, man. The algo is real, man. It's the hand of God.
But again,
shout out to Alex O, man. Shout out to Alex O.
Good seeing him in the house, man. Good seeing everybody in the house. Again, if you guys haven't smashed that like, please take an opportunity to do so.
And go follow my second channel where I'm streaming right now.
It's linked down below in the video description, and then we got it in a chat. I just gotta find it again, unless you just like want to do another copy paste.
Yeah, I'll definitely drop it. So
pressure.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I'd like to just quickly shout out that on my on the MineYourBiz Classic channel, I'll be releasing my guide on how to make your AI private, how to make it work for you. So, yeah, if you want to see that, just look for it there.
Nice. There was something that I was going to say in regards to. Well, I mean, I guess if we're thinking about the idea of this mind space and how only so many people can be watched at so much time, and we're competing against each other for views and such, it's a good idea that we talk about the idea of the three of us coming together instead of having to split it up and put it all in one little place, one little concise place. So we need to have a meeting privately to discuss names. If anybody has name suggestions, please let us know. Obviously, we're considering the three wise men, guilty by association. The logo idea thing that I came up with for that three wise men based off the 3WW with Seth's suggestion is almost ingenious, because how can you get a logo that looks the same forward, backwards, flipped up
and upside down?
You could just flip it and it just looks the same. And those,
what is that called? So I know that if you have numbers, right? That's called what is that called? MineYourBiz. You're the genius.
You mean it's like kind of like race car? You like the word race car? It's the same when you spell it forwards or backwards.
Yeah. What is that called?
It's called a palindrome.
Palindrome.
Yeah, that's a palindrome. But then flipping the palindrome into, because palindrome is forward and backwards.
But
this you can flip it upside down. You're adding that
fucking that's some fourth dimensional.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like the logo.
We're playing 4D chess now, ladies and gentlemen.
The logo itself just seems like it's like just one of the most coolest things. And it's like I don't think you're ever gonna like come up with another combination of words, and this is actually a combination of numbers and words that happen to work out this way. So if people like the not three amigos, the three wise men, if people like that, let us know. And here's the crappy thing that I was telling you guys in our group chat and Telegram. I don't think one viewer commented on any of our videos about the fact of us talking about starting a channel. And I know it was at the end of the live stream, but I know there was plenty of people watching. So we're talking about starting, potentially a new channel, the three of us. But like we've mentioned throughout this conversation, is part of being a content creator and part of being successful is having people watch you, having an audience. So we would absolutely, once we have a meeting and we could decide on what's the deal, and we can show a YouTube channel and an X account, if people aren't subscribing and following, then your voice will be heard and there will be no Three Wise Man channel. But I would like to do it, man. What are you guys' thoughts on it?
I'm game. I'm down. I'm ready. Especially as the summer is over. Summer is hard for me because I'm with the kids more. I'm traveling and just chilling. So, but yeah, I'm back in grind mode. So let's do it.
We get that link to Red Nugent 2 right here. So make sure you guys are subscribed to that. And I got links for Seth's other channel, Minded Godcast, in my video description as well. So appreciate that.
Thank you. That's been a slow burn. That one I'm trying to make sure that it is. It's very much focused on value added guests. So I've already got feelers out to a very small list of guests there, and it is pure consciousness, spirituality, and growth. Right. So like there will not be any discussion of crypto there at all. Not at all.
Shout out to Crypto Billy 111.
I do want to say, again, this whole thing is going to be really dependent on other people subscribing to the channel, because we've mentioned in the last stream towards the end, it was a long stream for the FOMC meeting about how much work goes into starting a brand new channel, and that's been a discouraging thing. We're not going to, I'm saying it like on my channel, I'm not going to keep splitting up this live stream in 3 separate places and be streaming like we are, because it's not productive. It's just, we're floating in our existing pools. There's nothing coming out of it. It would be so much better if we could put all this energy that's being streamed at 3 to 7 locations could be streamed in 1 location, maybe 2 or 3, and have that much more of an amplification on the views, the interaction, the likes. And I think
let's do this. Let's bring it to the people. We got an audience right now. I think across all platforms. I haven't checked in on our Twitters right now, but if I had to guess, we're probably rolling at a few hundred just there between the 3 different streams that we have there. And then we've got, a little over 100. I think you said maybe 125, 150 right now on YouTube. Let's just bring to the people 3 wise men. Doesn't matter if it's the logo like this, which I think is already fire, or if it's 3WM, whatever Chris goes with there. I love the direction that it's headed. But 3 wise men, guilty by association, whatever the name of the channel is. What do you think about it being a single channel on YouTube? YouTube is the greatest discovery platform on the planet.
Yeah, bar none.
Rumble is nice. It's nice. But unless you're doing the stuff that is specifically political and specifically right of center, they're not looking for moderate takes. They're not looking for centrist takes. They're not looking for even Charlie Kirk might not have done as well. I hate to even say it this way, as well on Rumble as he could on other platforms, because Rumble wants the extremes. They want the far right extreme.
And and this was brought up yesterday as well when I was speaking on the spaces with Hotep Jesus after his live stream. I jumped over there. YouTube making this move, right? Away from the censorship, to me, is going to invite back the right wing, center right, and even, I don't know if their plan is to have a lot of the extreme right content on there, but definitely center right people back to their platform. You're going to see a lot of people, they're going to steal a lot of the demographic from Rumble. That was the closest competitor.
You mean with YouTube trying to be nicer to everybody and allowing for supposedly a more even playing field?
Yeah.
That's where it may be good for us to start the channel. But I don't think that we should discount other platforms. Like if we're going to do live stream, we may want to do a dedicated place. But if we're going to release pre-recorded videos like we've talked about as well, I think that we should utilize platforms. The other thing I thought about too is if we did like a weekly live show, I'm not saying only one, but if we did a weekly live show where we allowed for like an hour discussion and then go into call-ins.
People love the call-ins.
I think moving it to X and doing the space for the call-ins, I think would probably be more beneficial, because then we don't necessarily have to worry about camera. We can just chill and we can still talk and we can still get the message out. And it kind of gives us a break. Don't have to worry
about a rogue caller, completely just tearing our operation down on YouTube.
Right, because we bring people to the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, while I agree with that, I'd say also there are some, I'm not going to name names, but there are the biggest acts on Twitter Spaces. I mean, 3 guesses, right, who I'm talking about, but the biggest acts on Twitter Spaces, they're pretty juiced up too, and you can tell because of the kinds of listeners that show up automatically within 30 seconds of the space starting every single time without fail. There's some hijinks going on over at Twitter that Elon pretended to get rid of, but in the background there were backdoors to help automate more of that really intense, frothy, real looking audience. I still think that if we're talking about a call-in show, that we just try to lock down some permissions, or we put in a streaming offset, like a buffer. Some of these platforms that we use, you can put in like a 1-minute buffer, and then we potentially like a delay, yeah. And
like how they do on networks when they had to beep somebody.
Pretty much, yeah. And then
shut that motherfucker up.
But also with certain kinds of language, we can also just be very selective. And with the call-in show, We can do some pre-screening. We can use Discord if we want. And then we can stream from there and then use some of their stage functionality. We got Telegram as a backend to power it. We got a couple other platforms where we can actually do the call-in section piece of all that, or Google Voice or whatever, right? To let somebody actually literally dial up and call in. And then I think as far as moderation, it's not going to be as easy to moderate. On X, we know that there's not going to be algorithms that immediately suppress you for saying certain phrases and talking about certain topics. But we're not going to get the same amount of audience discoverability on X as we will on YouTube. Period. End of story. You do not cross more than 200.
That's so funny you bring that up because
I was going to say if it's an after show
Twitter
thing,
Spaces, 200 is the organic limit. No one's breaking through that glass ceiling unless they're juiced, and then at the very top, it has.
Well,
thousands.
I'm just giving an option for call
unless they're Jews.
Juiced.
I mean, whatever you squeeze out of a box.
Do you squeeze Jews out of a box, or do you squeeze juice out of a box? Because I don't know of anybody. I don't know of any juice squeezers like that. I think he said juice, like OJ.
You sound like you said Jews too.
I can't help it if you think of two things at the same time when I say that word, but you're not wrong.
That's the other thing the algo has been shoving down my throat. I'm sure other people's is just Jew stuff. Anything Jew, good, bad, positive, negative. I've just been like bombarded. It's
almost like the algorithm wants you to have strong feelings about Israel, really strong feelings one way or the other.
And the other interesting thing is, like, a lot of this information I had been, loosely kind of researching over the past few years, and none of this information has been available. It's almost as if, like, we can use the flat Earth as an example, because that's like YouTube hates flat Earth, period. So it's like taking the ban off of flat Earth. And now all of a sudden there's like all these flat Earth videos that are sharing all this variety of information that wasn't available just the day before. And that's how it was for me, because I've been me and Blood have talked a little bit about the like Khazaria and things to that effect. And I've tried researching the hell out of this. And I will say, like, over the past month and a half, I probably have gotten a lot of more things that need fed to me than did. And I'm not coming off as like being like anti-Jewish or anti-Semitic or anything like that, because that's definitely not the case. I just had to stress that I squeeze juice from a box.
There you go. There you go. But the other problem with some of this new info that's coming out and this era, I mean, think about what they did to us, man. They locked us down. They prevented us from going places. They canceled speech that they didn't like. And now that they're releasing those restrictions on speech, releasing some of that censorship on speech, it's just in time to see like 90% of the content be AI slop and probably either disinformation or just, 5% wrong. But it's 5% that really matters to help you understand something. I take umbrage with what our handlers have done to us over the last 5 years. Like,
they're masters. They're masters at their game, not masters as in like slave masters. I mean, you could look at them that way, but they're definitely masters of their game. If some of these theories are true about like central banking dynasties and what they've done over hundreds of years, like maybe like the initial individual who comes up with the plan, knowing it's a long plan, doesn't see the fruition of it. Someone like Albert Pike, who wrote Morals and Dogma, where he's basically talking about the need for 3 specific world wars and gives like very specific information. And it seems like people are almost playing by that playbook. But Albert Pike is not alive today that I know of, unless he's like sucking on that chrome, that achrome.
Adrenochrome.
Gotta make an energy drink called achrome.
Oh, hold on, everybody! Special announcement.
Right?
Princess Diana is making a speech right now, live in England.
Shout out to Mr. X.
That's Raven Moonstone.
Whatever. Guilty by association. Shout out to.
What else? What is she saying is going on today?
So what I wanted to say, go back to the YouTube, the X thing you talked about, as far as 200 is the most you're going to get organically and all of that. That's very true. And I was having this debate with a lady on Hotep's stream spaces last night, and she was complaining about how she was told by X that you should come over here and get monetized and you're going to make this money and all this, and she was frustrated that she wasn't making that type of revenue from X. And I said, because X is not currently ready for monetization in the way that maybe content creators think. It's just not set up in a way that's very easy for consumers to take in ads. It's just not set up yet. I said, I think Elon is going in that direction. He's playing chess, not checkers. So it's a multi-step, multifaceted plan he's got to roll out. We still don't have X payments. That's a rail that's going to be part of this whole situation. And I think that he's going to be soon, Rice and Mind Your Biz. I think soon he's going to be coming at YouTube's neck. I personally do think that.
Well, I know that when you said something about X payments, I mean, it's been like over a year ago, but I'm sure this has been systematic and something that takes time. But they've applied, X, I think, has applied for like banking licenses in like pretty much all 50 states. And there may have been some that have already been approved. So I'm not 100% sure about that. But
that's amazing. Sure. I think that I wouldn't say that I'm black-pilled. I would just say that I feel like I'm trying to find grace in acknowledging the sort of the lack of a safe space. We'll say, like, they've messed with us long enough, and even Elon, who I think is probably net good right now, like you said, Blood, he's playing chess, not checkers. He's already cashed in 2 pawns for additional queens. We just don't know it yet. He is dominating the board in a way that people don't understand, but he may even be dominating the board in a way that we won't understand until it's far too late, and before we realize that we're not on his team and he's not on our team.
It's possible.
Like there are so many things at play there. I mean, like,
because look at what he did with Grok, man. He came out of nowhere. He's quiet as kept. Grok is the best dollar per I don't know what the metric is on as far as the Y and X axis. Probably better than me.
Yeah, but aren't we training it?
I'm just saying he brute forced his way to the top with all, like, I don't know, man. I think this guy's a hybrid or something. Like, for him to in 12 months go from 0 to at the very top 1 percentile of AI systems is highly impressive.
Well, who knows how long? I mean, how long some of this stuff has been in the works? I mean, he's been speaking about AI, but he's been talking about AI for a long time, and I kind of always felt he was going to be a big player in the AI space.
He's a part founder of OpenAI,
right? But he left the whole thing, and it was supposed to be a nonprofit too, I believe. Or
right, it was supposed to be open source, open source tech, and it's only been now that ChatGPT OSS was finally released as an open source project, and people are not using it. They're not quite as grateful as maybe they should be there. But I mean, look at what Elon's doing. Where's the open source version of Grok? Well, he finally admitted there's going to be a schedule for that, but Grok is going to be open source. Many releases or many release cycles after the latest versions are available. He wants a competitive advantage still. So the idea that like he wants everything to be, open source, which in the truest sense means that the source is available from the moment that you publish new tech, not weeks or months or a year later. He's being a bit morally flexible there. That's why, Blood, when you talk about him being this master chess player, I agree. He's playing like 57-dimensional chess, probably with some alien tech that he borrowed from the Air Force or NASA, right? Area 51. Like, we don't know what's available there.
Nikolai Tesla technology or something.
Yeah, he's been consulting with tall whites, man. I don't know what the hell this guy, man.
I feel like there's a chosen few, and it seemed like anybody who was involved in the early days of PayPal is in that list of chosen few. We could probably do a whole episode about who they were and where they are today, and how they
I'm going
got
to be careful
where
with
they
that. Yeah, I'm going to be careful with that because some of them are in our midst. Some of them, well, in the industry that I think all of us are very disenchanted with right now. PayPal Mafia didn't all go and do other strictly traditional tech stuff. A lot of them went to Silicon Valley, and a lot of them went to other places that are tech hubs to go work on crypto projects. So we have to be careful where we throw stones there.
Okay, I mean, but
I'm not going to say we can't talk about it.
Right, there may be ulterior motives with those things happening as well. But I get what you're saying. I just, yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, but I mean, they controlled money in a way that Uncle Sam didn't shut down. That should tell you a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless of whether or not there's going to be an ease on censorship, I mean, I'm still going to, very clearly speak my mind. I mean, I don't want anything to, impact my buddies. So I would definitely try to be very conscientious of making sure I'm not getting us killed. But I'm not going to shut up about things that I think are screwed up. And I think that people have been, put in place for reasons. It seemed like there's a reason why, and I can't remember the name of the actual original project. I got it written down somewhere, but Palantir, prior to it being Palantir, it was military. And there were some situations where I believe the Congress or Senate was like questioning some things. So they just basically ended up privatizing the technology. And it was like kind of, as far as I'm concerned, like gifted to Peter Thiel. Like, why are these people so chosen to be gifted with this shit? So I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, but I mean, military contracting is a very weird space, and in some cases, it works the way I think it works the way you'd expect, where it's like any other business. You start it up, you try to get a chokehold on some small aspect of military contracts because you have something unique to offer, and so you try to put your best foot forward and be chosen through some kind of due onboarding process and evaluation criteria. And then, yeah, in other cases, absolutely, it has to do with other connections that go way beyond anyone's ability to see out in the public, like to try to compete against some of these groups for military and other government contracts is just total futility. Like right now, you talked about Elon playing the game of AI as a latecomer and skyrocketing to the top of the lists there. Well, imagine putting yourself as like, we'll use rocket science as the new battlefield. You want to try to pit yourself against SpaceX. Good luck. It doesn't matter how funded you are. And Jeff Bezos proved that. He's one of the other guys who has all the money in the world. Can't do it.
This is more evidence that this guy is a fucking alien, bro.
Not an alien. If anything, he would have been
a hybrid.
Do you remember what he looked? Do you remember bald Elon? You remember bald Elon before he got his hair transplant crap?
No. He's an alien, man. Oh, yeah. He's an alien.
No, he had like
he superseded. He passed NASA.
There's your alien.
Yeah, he passed
See NASA. That hairline? See that hairline?
Yeah.
He's making it's not quite as bad, but it's you can see where it's staying out. I was going to compare it to Benjamin Cowan, but Benjamin Cowan actually has more hair. So it's completely thinned out.
Open season on Benjamin Cowan's hairline.
Look at that. It's completely thinned out. And this was back when he was starting PayPal. This is
where are you getting that, Rice?
Him and Peter Thiel right there with their little PayPal computer. Just Google older pictures of Elon Musk.
What does that mean?
He's got a hair transplant.
What does that have to do with him being an alien?
I don't think he's an alien. There he is again.
So an alien can't get hair transplants.
They shouldn't need them.
It's not true. They're still
they're technologically advanced. They would wear wigs.
Technologically advanced doesn't mean that they're
maybe Elon's wearing a wig. I don't think he's an alien. All aspects. I don't think he's. Oh, speaking of, the alien's dad is in trouble. Is in trouble for some SA BS, and I'm like, you're gonna accuse him of SA over his children and grandchildren, and I think people know what SA means because I think that's a trigger. He had sex with his stepdaughter and had 2 kids. Did you guys know that?
So he Woody Allen the thing.
And he pretty much, he didn't raise her, but pretty much raised her. Like, she was around at a young age. And I think that's one of the problems that Elon started having with, because the one thing that they do agree on is that let's procreate. Let's put as much sperm inside of egg sacs as we can. And just procreate the hell out of everything. They both did that and are doing that. But yeah, with Errol, is that his name? Errol, whatever. Jerome and Earl. I'm like, how can you, like, the guy is admitted, like, people, it's public knowledge that I think he married her, his stepdaughter, and had 2 children. Whether or not he married her or not, they had kids together. And then I'm like, because when I heard the news, I'm like this is not like a surprise. Why would anybody think that this wouldn't occur if he impregnated his stepdaughter twice?
Very strange.
Man, I get a little queasy even hearing that kind of stuff, man. That and Elon Omar marrying his brother. This stuff's just too weird for me.
So unless we have some aliens that like younger children, I don't think Elon is an alien.
Well, I mean, we can go down the whole ritual abuse path if you want. We can talk about MK stuff, funky MK butt stuff. If you want.
Something like, I definitely would like to do stuff like this, but I think some of this might be like pre-recorded kind of stuff we could put on other platforms, stuff that we could chop into clips for YouTube. To be careful, because even though I think the playing field may be a little bit better, it's not going to be like, it's not going to still be dirty game. Like, they're not going to tell us like what, there's not going to be a list of stuff you should and shouldn't say. Topics you shouldn't cover. It's not going to be a situation where if you have a video removed that they're actually going to tell you what it was in the video that was the problem. Because that was the biggest problem with me with YouTube and the censorship and removing my videos or giving me a strike, is they'll give me some generic term and condition that I broke, but they won't tell me what it was in the video that was specific to what I'm violating. So I have to at least say, for like police officers, when they pull you over and they try to make sure that you're informed of why they pulled you over. I think over. But if YouTube was to say, do you know why we removed your video? I mean, no, absolutely no clue.
There's a little bit of a difference there from a human engineering perspective, social engineering perspective. Cops ask you why, if you know why they pulled you over, because they want to get you to start talking in a comfortable way. They want you to start breathing so you don't. But they don't make up in the same way that they try to get you to start saying yes, like salespeople do.
But they don't make you guess as to why you got pulled over. Usually, you know. Okay, I'm just saying, YouTube. Every time I've had a video removed, I've never ever been told this is the time stamp of what you said wrong. None of that shit. If I have copyrighted material, they'll tell me what's copyright. They'll give me the option to clip it out or not make any monetization on it. But when I have a problem, they don't give you an option to clip out what they don't like. They just take down the whole video, and they don't say what it is in violation. Because I'm like, you say I encouraged violence and stuff or inciting riots. And I'm like, none of my content does that. None of it. So where is it in this video that I'm saying what you're saying violates? They will never answer. So you meant we were interrupting Blood too. Blood was going to say something.
Shout out to Mr. Tequila. Highlight his comment. Excuse me. I was just saying that I just came across. I see Alex Jones is live right now on X, and he's got Nick Fuentes on right now.
Yeah, Nick is like
This
the
guy
boy.
Nick has been running the circuit, bro. Like ever since they chopped Charlie's head off, it's like, boop, insert.
It's almost
Nick.
like
It's very strange, Rice. It's very strange.
Well, what's also strange is, I mean, if you listen to that part of the interview that I listened to with Patrick Bet-David, it was mentioned that a lot of times when he was like having problems with different people on X that were bigger accounts like Ben Shapiro and stuff, that he was like under 1,000 followers. So why was all there's like, even like Patrick Bet-David said, why was all this attention being put on this? It's like they were shining. It was like they were shining a light on him on purpose. Like it's all part of the same shit. Like why would Ben Shapiro make Nick Fuentes who he is? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, if you listen to the interview, his excuse was that the girl he was not necessarily dating, but they were like content partners or whatever. She worked for some major Jewish organization and they were great friends. And then he started kind of changing his opinion on the juices. And that's when she put the word out to Ben Shapiro about him. Well, but actually, she told Ben Shapiro about him before he turned. So she was like, he's a rising star. Keep an eye out on him. I think he's going to have some potential. Then when he turned on the juices, that's when she went back to Ben and said, you know, look at what he's doing. So that's when kind of he was put on the juices.
Well, that's the lady who married into the juice,
converted
into the juice and converted over to like squeezed orange juice.
Squeezed orange juice. There you go. Round of applause.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, and I guess I'm saying, when you're bringing that much attention to something like that, you know, you gotta, it should make you question what the hell's going on. You know, I will say, without getting into a lot, is that, you know, a lot of what we've been taught is crap. It's not true. Falsities mixed in with some truths. Yeah, because like Seth was saying, you have, in order to properly really get somebody, like to lie to somebody, the best way you can is to mix truth in the lie, or just a little bit of lie and a lot of truth. That's all you need. Just a little bit of lie.
Yep. The key parts that'll get your mark to do what you want. It's all about behavior modification. As long as they're doing what you want, you mix in as much truth as they need to keep doing what you want. So, yeah, whatever. You got people now. I mean, this poor lady, Erica Kirk, forgiving an assassin who we don't have positive confirmation and hard facts was definitely the assassin. That like double breaks my heart.
That was diabolical.
Yeah.
I missed what you said. Sorry. What did you say?
Just that during the memorial for Charlie Kirk, you had Erica Kirk, bless her heart, which was in the right place, forgiving the assassin. But right now, the mainstream narrative is that it's this dude who's very clearly a patsy. Like there's the math.
I want to go down that rabbit hole with you guys.
You want to stream? You want to stream Friday?
No, I know. I want to talk about it right now.
Right meow.
Okay.
Right now.
Is that all right?
Meow.
Okay. Do you guys agree with her saying, I forget, whoever it is, she's probably forgiving the wrong person, but is it right for her to forgive whoever the killer was?
I don't think that's really our place at all to even comment on. I wasn't involved. I will say, based off of the way that I was raised and my faith, that it is the right thing to do. It's probably one of the hardest things to do. It may have been too soon. It may have been too public. She could have forgave. I mean, I'm not saying that what she said wasn't true, but she could have done that in silent prayer, not in front of two overcapacitated stadiums with overflow outside. It's like, You don't do good deeds and go and tell everybody you do the good deeds. So, I mean, I'm not saying that she shouldn't have, but I'm also saying that I don't really think it's our place to comment on the fact that she did or didn't.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Ultimately, it's going to be between her and God whether or not that was heartfelt. And I don't know if we possess the right tools to know for sure. The thing that I'm taking umbrage with is that there's been a public narrative about who did it, and there has been no reframing, no additional investigation, no further questions asked. Hey, everybody, this is the official story. Believe it. And
no,
she
I think
that young man.
I think right. If that's the case, then it's wrong, and it's playing into something that we obviously know is not true. If she's saying,
and what has me pissed off is I'm pissed off on her behalf that she's being told, well, these are the facts. This is the guy who did it. She
has to know otherwise.
I'm pissed off that she said, "I forgive the young man." I'm gonna just jump out there.
I mean, I think we've got a three-way split decision here. For my part, I'm like, I think it was important for her, based on the event itself, based on it being more of a Christian revival than it was really meant to be a political thing. They just look at their circle of friends, man. They were on the Turning Point circuit for how many years? Their closest friends were these people over the last 10 years. So you can't blame them for having political people there. But it was first and foremost meant to be more of a devotional thing and a celebration of Charlie's life. So in my mind, in that environment, when you've got a whole big group of Christians watching, what do you want her to say? Like, nope, God damn this person to hell. And also, please go burn down some buildings like leftists do. No, I think she did the right thing by saying, no, we're like, in our hearts, the Christian thing to do is to forgive this person and then let due process have its way. Render to Caesar that which is Caesar's. If they're going to lock this guy up, if they're going to give him the chair, whatever, like, wash your hands of it, but you in your heart, let it go so that they can go face justice.
That's why I guess, I don't know the teachings of Muslims or Islam, but I'm not with that shit, man. I'm sorry. In real life, I'm just being honest with you. I'm just not with someone that takes I'm talking as if I was her, I'm in her position. My husband away from me, in front of me and my child, permanently, forever. I'm sorry, it's not a forgivable thing, my guy. We're not going there. I'm not doing it.
Well, that's to you though. I mean, to her, it obviously, if what she said was heartfelt, it was important for her. So in that sense, I mean,
this is my question to you. So we're supposed to be a Christian led or Christian inspired nation, the United States, right? If we're why do we go and bomb a terrorist country, a terrorist that's from an origin of some country, for attacking us? Why don't we just go pray about it and ask God to forgive them? No, every action has a reaction. I think that things, there's a threshold, in my opinion, there's a threshold where some things are unforgivable. Sure, someone steals from you. It's not life-threatening.
There's a difference in
forgive you.
There's a difference in forgiving and not forgetting, though. And forgiving somebody isn't necessarily a weak act. Sometimes it's one of the hardest things I think that you can do. That doesn't mean that you got to approve of the person and all of a sudden be their best buddy and love them. But forgiving, I've seen numerous crime documentaries, stuff about serial killers, stuff about famous people who have been involved in crimes. And it was kind of soon on Erica Kirk's part, but it's not unusual for a family member to forgive the person who committed the crime against the person that they love.
Yeah, I've seen that many times.
It's not unusual, but it just generally doesn't take place within a week or two after the event, especially when you're not even really sure who the killer was.
You haven't gone through the grieving process stages yet.
It's not an unusual thing for people to forgive. It really isn't. I think it kills people to have that kind of hatred in their heart.
This is also proven. You can study this. You can see cross-generational studies of the effects that it has on people's health and the effects that it has on their families too.
Now, Mr. X, you need to stop with that shit because I really don't like those kind of comments, man. And I'm really, really tired of people saying this, okay? because I did bring up the other side of the ice wall to Blood.
Oh man, my guy, Mr. X, man. Yeah.
I'll see you again. I'll see you again in Valhalla.
Yeah. No, I'm
sorry,
good with
man.
I don't.
We can agree to disagree
on things that level. You take away family members. These are permanent actions that you've taken against me or my family. There is no forgiveness. And I'm going to give you.
I would respect your decision to not forgive.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the same, or attempt to give you the same energy you gave me.
But I mean, I would respect your decision. So that's where I have to say, like, I think it was premature, but I definitely feel like it's not unusual. It's not unusual. It's premature. We're not even sure, and we're not even sure of the events because I agree with what Seth said. That boy is definitely not like the one who did this horrendous act.
That's not who.
George Zen who
lost his trousers.
And then gets arrested. Then gets arrested.
Mind your business. Did you see that clip?
Then he gets arrested for corn. Then he gets arrested for having corn on his phone.
After the shot, he's like trying to go down the stair platform, and then he stumbles and his pants fall down to his legs, and he trips and falls over. Someone comes over and helps him put his pants back up, and he continues to run over to.
I haven't fact checked everyone
this. I did it.
So, I don't know if it was all from Candace, but they said something about George Zen being involved, being at 911, giving false calls.
Yeah,
and something about the Boston Massacre.
Oh, I didn't know that. So he's like your buddy your boy that was at the Trump assassination.
JFK Jr. JFK Jr.
So
the time
he's like
traveler,
him.
John Teeter.
I'm surprised he wasn't there.
Vincent Fusca.
Fusca.
Vincent
was he?
I don't know. I don't follow Fusca like that. Like I said, I tried to.
You were saying earlier about central casting, man.
Central casting is basically saying that that what we're watching, this is like the synopsis of it, Seth, is that
kayfabe.
What we're watching is kind of kayfabe, but it's like a military operation, but it's not a typical military operation. It is a movie that the military is produced in real time to wake people up. So Prince, Michael Jackson, John Denver, Princess Diana, JFK Jr., they're all alive. They didn't die. Okay. John Lennon, I've seen a picture of him wearing a MAGA hat. He's alive today and he's wearing a MAGA hat. Not quite sure if John Lennon would actually wear a MAGA hat.
Well, I mean, you also have people who are non-genetic twins.
The central casting thing, and they're also showing images of Donald Trump saying his nose is different, that he's been replaced. I mean, it's like people have some really great imaginations, and I don't know if it's like I mentioned it on Hotep Jesus's show about the fact that people go beyond tinfoil hats. They're wearing tinfoil bodysuits. Or they're even got their dogs wrapped up in the tinfoil.
No,
so
they've got
their whole entire house.
They've got tinfoil dildos stuck up their asses. That's what it is.
So I mean, I like creativity and imagination, but I think that reality has its time and its place, and not everything that we're watching is an act. Is to wake people up, and a lot of what I also said to Blood Seth is that a lot of these people I'm talking about would be within the QAnon movement, and they're taking posts from the Q posts from like 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, and saying that they were meant for today. And they're trying to place all the old shit in the new shit, talking, and Blood will confirm this, that I said this, that talking about the difference between a Julian and Gregorian calendar and the convergence of the two.
Okay.
And it's all going to come together, and we're all going to wake up, and we're all going to know the truth to everything that's happened. Elvis,
I mean, there's definitely been an awakening.
Elvis is alive too. He's a preacher. He's a preacher at a church. His name is Bob something.
I mean, okay.
Somebody who watches our channel went to an event where he spoke at. If anybody knows, Pastor Bob Joyce, I believe is his name. Bob Joyce is, the people claim, is Elvis Presley. Images of Pastor Bob Joyce. So maybe Elvis will come out and he'll make some statements. Okay, so this is Elvis today. Let me try to get this thing to clear up. Or I'll just pull up a Google.
You sure that's not Michael McDonald?
I'm surprised you even know who Michael McDonald is. Is he from Detroit?
Come on, bro. I don't just listen to rap now.
Did you hear about Kid Rock getting banned from California?
No. Shout out to Kid Rock.
Supposedly,
is that the devil sign, or is that cool?
That's the American Sign Language for "I love you."
Shout out to Rock, Detroit, Motor City, Rock City.
Yeah, no. Apparently, Gavin Newsom is like putting some sort of like statewide ban on him performing in California.
Communist California, boy.
Okay,
I tell you,
Mr. X, should I share it? And then we could end the stream with this.
Kind of off topic as we kind of wrap up. I was talking to my girlfriend, right? And we were just sitting out in the yard, and I started saying, have you noticed over the last maybe month or so, or I told her I noticed over the last month or so, planes are starting to the air traffic control altitude for planes seem to have been lowered, like it's the ceiling has been lowered. So I went and searched.
Is the firmament falling?
I went and searched, and I wasn't the only one that noticed this. It took a while because you subconsciously don't. But I'm like, why are these planes so damn low nowadays? Commercial planes coming in, And I did a search, and maybe that's something we can talk about in the future. But I thought I would say that it was on my mind. But yeah,
so planes
I'm
are
not
flying.
The only one.
Planes are flying lower.
They're flying lower in the Metro Detroit area, coming into DTW. I wasn't the only one. I did a search, and that people were saying the same thing. So I don't know if there's some type of we got orbs floating in Metro Detroit. I don't know, man.
Let me know if you guys can hear this before I keep playing it.
How many times you got to get Trump say central casting? What do you think that means? What do you think? What is Donald Trump's motive to constantly say, not once, a billion times, central casting, central casting. Look at this guy, central casting, central casting. And I'm never going to live here. I don't believe in the whole assassination thing. I see the professional wrestling game. It's professional wrestling. They script it. You play the bad guy. We're going to fight in public. We do our photo op. Then we give it to the public, and then we control their emotions. You get this side, and you guys get this side. And that's what they do. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I couldn't stand what was happening beforehand, but I do watch.
Central casting. Central, hey, you know what? At least central casting. Look at that guy, central casting.
At least a central casting. If I'm doing a movie, I pick you, General.
Central casting, very impressive. Oh, you're central casting. Look at this. I love this man, central casting. I watch him all the time. Central casting.
He's a real talent, a real guy, and he is central casting. Do we agree? Central casting.
The central casting, the red suspenders, handsome, beautiful, smart. You couldn't get better central casting.
He is great in every way, and he's central casting. I mean, this is a man that was born for the position.
No, he was central casting like the perfect Supreme Court judge. These guys are central casting. There's nobody in Hollywood that looks like these
hilarious.
People. And they're central casting. I've never seen a group of people like this.
So this feeds the Q people to believe that everything we're watching is not real.
Is it central casting? That's sample.
No, what's real is that Trump has a finite, limited vocabulary,
and the man is
a lexicon, and he just circles through those words over and over and over again. That's all it is.
Right, boss?
And that central casting is one of them on that list.
Well, central casting is an agency or department that supplies actors for minor, usually stereotypical or generic film
You
roles.
talk about central casting. This guy's out of central casting. I'm telling you, there's nobody in Hollywood that can look like this guy. And these guys are central casting, like from a movie. Central casting, you can't get
You're like, I never noticed them say it.
Never.
Central casting, and we have great generals, a great central casting general.
Look at that.
Ne kadar güzel insanlar.
I'm gonna start using it. Look at that. Look at Rice. He's just beautiful. He's central casting. Look at the guy below me. Look at that bald head. That's a central casting guy right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom. I watch.
I mean, again, it's easy to like take things and stretch it.
Central casting.
It is. It's very
You
easy.
couldn't pick a better guy in Hollywood. There's no actor.
I go back to right wing, left wing, same bird.
Central casting. Great marks, great
I mean,
schools, the best
I had an
women,
experience
the
at
best
that got me to maybe believe a little bit in this concept, but not exactly in the way that you're saying.
Well, they're basically saying that everybody is an actor right now. That and a lot of people have already speculated that some of these individuals that we would think could be arrested have already been arrested and been replaced with either, because now I don't know if you seen the there is like Secret Service and the government has had technology like mass technology so good that I think that some lady who was I believe she was in the FBI, she went into I think it was George Bush Jr.'s office in disguise, and he didn't know that she was wearing any sort of disguise and took it off and totally like surprised him with the fact that he didn't know that there was a mask on.
So she had like a Mission Impossible
technology,
face off type stuff. Okay,
I mean, this has been something that's been discussed for a long time in the Q movement. And this is why people are talking about people like Michael Jackson and Prince and Princess Diana and JFK Jr. and all these individuals still being alive.
Come on, man. Listen. And I said this yesterday, bro. Listen, celebrities die too, ladies and gentlemen. Like, let's get over it. They're human too, okay?
I'm just
Every time a celebrity dies does not mean they're alive on the other side of the wall.
I'm giving you a glimpse into some people's reality.
That lets me know that people project them as gods. They put these celebrities in a tier of God-like because they can't in their psyche believe that they died. That's what it is. It's a projection, I think.
It's so funny how this
is
so triggering to some people too. I know in general, like especially people that believe this stuff. So, I mean, I'm not saying that there's nothing fishy going on, but I don't think that what we see is a complete act and central casting. As a matter of fact, I think it was.
Did you say central casting?
Yeah, I just said central casting.
Central casting?
George Bush is the Bush. Who's the Bush father? Not the President Bush is the what, CIA or FBI Bush? Who's the dad of the president's grandfather? The first Bush that was seemingly in U.S. government.
So the father
John
of
Bush?
George Senior.
Herbert might be, because I think the other one has the middle name Herbert from that. The father, the older Bush's father. I don't know if it was Harvard or what, but apparently I seen a picture, and it could be photoshopped, of like skull and bone stuff with him in the same class or photo with Trump's father. So it goes like with people saying, again, that this is like kind of like just this fake psyop war. Prescott Bush. Prescott. It was Prescott and John J. Trump. Was that John Jesus? Because it's Christ. Christ is in her name. It was Trump's grandmother's middle name is Christ, and there's a couple of other Trumps. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, now you're really mind effing me.
No, I've told you this before.
This is all central casting. I mean, beautiful.
I told you about Fred Trump is Fred Christ Trump Sr. Frederick Christ Trump Sr. Elizabeth Christ Trump.
Wow.
She's Frederick's mommy.
Wow.
It's German.
Trump really is Jesus. Round of applause.
No, he's General Patton, man. Come on.
Okay.
No.
Have you not seen that theory? Because they talk about Trump being a time traveler because of Trump's uncle and his relationship with Nikolai. Not Barron. His uncle was friends with Nikolai.
But you know
Tesla.
about that one, right?
Yeah, The Adventures of Baron
Trump.
von Trump. I haven't read the books, but I'm aware. So, yeah.
Jeez.
Fun times.
Yeah, I don't know,
Fun
man.
times.
I think
Simulation,
Pat,
man.
I mean, like Blood was saying before, though, people die. Patton was, I think, definitely paralyzed when he was hit by a truck, and then died not long after that because his opinions were too unpopular.
He time jumped to the future and then time jumped back to the past, and it's Donald Trump now. Central casting. Central casting.
What about Biden's fake White House set? Central casting.
Central casting. All right.
Yo, that's my word for the week. That's the word for the week, man. Central casting.
Yeah, hey, can I give you an alternate track to outro us on real quick? I'm going to throw this in our private chat. Speaking of to bring it full circle here.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to.
Man earlier.
I'm using this Mac, and I'm not going to be able to download something and get it to play on this stream. Sorry.
It's on YouTube. You can play the YouTube video.
It's
a Watermelon Man, like you said at the beginning. But Herbie Hancock.
Oh, I love Herbie. I love Herbie.
He made it, man. He set the standard.
I didn't know that.
Watermelon Man.
Okay.
Maybe if I hear the song, I'll know it.
So before I get us to the Watermelon Man, again, we have links for each other's channels and each other's video descriptions. So I would encourage you guys to make sure you're subscribed, following us all, etc. Again, links are down below. If you haven't smashed that like button, it would be greatly appreciated. On screen, you can see my X account at RiceTVX. Again, these are linked in each of those video descriptions. You can find Crypto Blood at CryptoBlood_. And just so I make sure I say it correct, at MineYourBiz. Make sure you're following. Links are down below for all million of our channels, because we all three have 1 million channels each. So make sure you are subscribed to all 1 million channels. That would be 3 million channels in total. Is that correct?
Yep.
Give or take.
You guys have anything you want to add?
Man, I just, I'm very appreciative of this central casting. I mean, I've got Rice to the right here. I've got beautiful. Look at this guy. I mean, he's central casting. Look at this bald head guy. Central casting. That's it, bro. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I always look forward to these Wednesdays now. So
nice. We get to brighten everybody's hump day. Seth, final thoughts before we watermelon man this shit up.
Yeah, man. I guess my thoughts are just again, I'm going to show the episode that I'm doing is a very special episode of Mind Your Biz. I don't do these often, but teaching people how to secure their AI before AI secures you, right? So be looking for that. Be thinking about it, because you see real people here, but here today, gone tomorrow. Be careful of what you consume and what you use before it uses you.
This probably, if we were to make like 6 cents each on this live stream, this will probably demonetize the pennies that we would make. So just want to give you guys a heads up in case you need those pennies.
I'm streaming on a non-monetized channel anyway.
Okay, so
rock on.
It's a 6-minute track. I need to end this stream in 5, so you're not getting the whole thing, but we're gonna play it anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We will be back next Wednesday, and hopefully, we'll have some more concrete information about a name and channel, so you guys can subscribe. And
oh yeah, I know this song.
Sound like I'm in a jungle. Don't take mushrooms and listen to the song, ladies and gentlemen.
Central casting, central casting, central casting. Central casting, central casting, central casting. Smash that like button, people.